Mondo Duplantis walked into Alexander Stadium chasing his fourth straight European title, but this was not the easy win everyone expected. The cold wind disturbed his rhythm, he missed a height he normally clears with ease, and Emmanouil Karalis pushed him to the limit. Then Mondo raised the bar to a height nobody had ever cleared at these championships. After defeat and injury, could he still produce something special? Let's start with the scene, because the scene matters. Alexander Stadium in Birmingham, the final evening of the 2026 European Athletics Championships, and the temperature was dropping fast. The wind was swirling across the runway. Pole vaulters hate wind more than almost any other athlete in track and field because one badly timed gust can turn a perfect run-up into a wasted attempt. The organizers had given the vaulters a small gift that night. Every competitor was allowed to choose their own music for the final, and yet, as usual, the entire stadium ended up moving to Mondo's rhythm. He entered the competition at 5.55 meters and cleared it without any visible effort. Then he passed at 5.70. Emmanouil Karalis, the Greek vaulter who now sits second on the world all-time list, did exactly the same thing. Both men skipped the height, both men were saving energy, and both men knew the real contest was still an hour away. At 5.85 meters, Duplantis floated over with more than 13 centimeters to spare. Karalis matched him. Then both of them passed at 5.95, which left France's Baptiste Thierry alone at that height. Thierry failed 3 times, and his evening finished with a bronze medal and a best clearance of 5.85 meters. So it came down to 2 close friends who happened to be the 2 best pole vaulters on the planet. The bar went up to 6 meters, and this is where the night turned interesting. Duplantis knocked it off on his first attempt. 6 meters sits 31 centimeters below his own world record. He clears that height in warm-ups, he clears it in his sleep, and in Birmingham on a cold and blustery Sunday evening, he missed it. Karalis missed it too. Both men went clear on their second attempt, and the whole stadium exhaled. Then the bar climbed to 6.10 meters, which was the existing European Championships record, the one Duplantis had set at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome in 2024. He cleared it at the first time of asking. Karalis went next, and he was so close that it almost hurt to watch. The Greek got over the bar cleanly, then clipped it on the way down and brought it crashing onto the mat. That single moment decided the gold medal, and both athletes understood it immediately. Karalis then made the bravest call of his night. He passed his 2 remaining attempts at 6.10 and jumped straight to 6.15 meters, a height nobody had ever cleared at a European Championships. Duplantis went first. 1 run-up, 1 plant, 1 clearance. The bar wobbled as he passed over it, and for half a second the crowd held its breath, but it stayed on. 6.15 meters. A new championship record 5 centimeters higher than the old one, and a 4th European gold medal in a row. Karalis had 1 card left to play. He missed his opening attempt at 6.15, then passed everything else, and asked for the bar to be raised to 6.20 meters, a height that would have beaten Duplantis outright. He came within a fingertip of it. The bar shivered, hung there for a moment, then dropped. His challenge was finished, and he collected silver with his 6-meter clearance, which was his 2nd European silver, in a row after Rome. Nobody in that stadium was disappointed in him. Karalis dragged the greatest pole vaulter in history deeper into a competition than anyone has managed in years, and Duplantis was closing out a genuinely historic evening in Birmingham. Britain's Amy Hunt had just become the first athlete in the 92-year history of the European Championships to win 4 gold medals at a single edition. Italy sealed top spot on the medal table in the very last race of the week, edging Great Britain in the men's 4x400-meter relay by 0.03 of a second to finish with 10 golds against Britain's 9. Now here is the detail that got buried under the highlight clips. and it is the most impressive part of this entire story. Duplantis has won 4 European outdoor titles. He has set a championship record at every single one of them. Berlin, 2018. He was 18 years old, competing in only his second senior outdoor championship, and he cleared 6.05 meters. That was his first ever 6-meter clearance and his first senior title, and it introduced him to the sport in one unforgettable evening, Munich, 2022. He returned and lifted his own championship record to 6.06 meters, clearing it on his first attempt on a wet night at the Olympia Stadium, Rome, 2024. 6.10 meters at the Stadio Olimpico. Another record, another gold medal, and now Birmingham, 2026. 6.15 meters under the lights at Alexander Stadium, 4 championships, 4 gold medals, 4 championship records. For 8 years, the only rival he has genuinely faced at this event is himself, and he keeps beating that guy too. If you are enjoying this breakdown, tap the subscribe button. We cover the biggest moments in track and field every single week. Now let's talk about why this particular gold medal meant far more to him than the numbers suggest. Because 2026 has not been a comfortable year for Mondo Duplantis, and that is a sentence almost nobody expected to write. Look at what happened in the months before Birmingham. On the 7th of June at the Bauhaus Galan in Stockholm, in his own country, in front of his own family, he lost. Australia's Kurtis Marschall cleared 5.90 meters in wet and gusty conditions at Stockholm Olympic Stadium. Duplantis managed 5.80 and finished second. That defeat ended a winning run of roughly 40 straight competitions. He had not lost a pole vault contest since July 2023. 3 years of complete control, gone in one rainy evening. He admitted afterwards that he felt unfocused, and he handed Marschall full credit instead of reaching for excuses. Then in July, at the London Diamond League, he cleared 5.95 meters and walked away from the competition midway through with a problem in his left thigh. For an athlete whose entire event is built on an explosive run-up, a thigh injury is exactly the wrong injury at exactly the wrong moment. Away from the runway, he got married and relocated his base to Monaco. His life was full, his training was interrupted, and his season had wobbled in a way it simply had not wobbled since 2023. So, when he walked into Alexander Stadium, the real question was not whether he would win. It was whether he still had that final gear when the bar climbed past 6 meters. 6.15 answered it, and it answered it outdoors, which changes the maths completely. Indoors, the air is still and the runway is predictable. Outdoors, in falling temperatures with wind rolling across a stadium bowl, every centimeter costs something extra. Clearing 6.15 meters in those conditions on a first attempt after a season broken up by a loss and an injury is a far harder piece of work than the number alone suggests. And it is worth remembering exactly how high the ceiling still sits for this man. Back on the 12th of March, at the Mondo Classic in Uppsala, the indoor meeting he helped create in his adopted Swedish hometown, he cleared 6.31 meters on his very first attempt. That was the 15th world record of his career. He had already pushed the mark to 6.30 at the World Championships in Tokyo in September 2025, and to 6.28 in Stockholm before that. In Birmingham, there was no attempt at a 16th. The temperature was falling, the wind refused to settle, and he had already banked the gold medal and the record. He zipped up his tracksuit, packed away his poles, and called it a night. Afterwards, he sounded genuinely moved rather than routine about the whole thing. He spoke about how quickly the years are moving, about refusing to take any of this for granted, and about wanting to leave a mark every time he steps onto a track. He said the championship record feels really good, which, coming from a man holding 15 world records, carries more weight than it sounds. 4 of these in a row, he added, is pretty crazy. He is not wrong. He is 26 years old. He is a double Olympic champion from Tokyo and Paris, a 3-time world outdoor champion, a 4-time world indoor champion, and now a 4-time European champion who has never once won this title without rewriting the record book on his way past. And the challenge behind him is sharpening. Karalis cleared 6.17 meters indoors in February, a Greek national record that placed him second on the world all-time list, and he has now finished behind Duplantis at 2 European championships in a row. Kurtis Marschall already proved the streak can be broken. The gap is still enormous, but it is no longer infinite. For one cold night in Birmingham, though, none of that mattered. Mondo Duplantis obliterated the championship record again, exactly the way the title promised, and he did it in the middle of the most difficult season of his adult career. Tell me in the comments how high you think he goes before he finally stops. 6.40? 6.50? Drop your number below. And if you want more from Birmingham, that video is waiting on the screen right now.